of globalization taking us to rapid innovation and development, the boundaries between communities are blurring every single day. It leads us to become this one giant culture which threatens the indigenous communities or the indigenous Filipinos, which we also call the ICCs or IPs. The Philippines is a culturally diverse country with an estimated 10% to 20% of the country's population consisting of indigenous people which reside in most of northern Luzon, the Cordillera Administrative Region, in some parts of Visayas, and mostly in the Mindanao too. Despite these efforts, the IPs remain the poorest and most disadvantaged groups nationwide, even when they have a law in the 1987 Constitution protecting the rights, ancestral domains, culture, history, and the preservation of their pre-colonial tribes. The background and history of the Abaknon tribe, they were set, they were actually from the Muhammad conquest, which rejected the Islam, and then they went and sailed through the other parts of the world of their empire, which and then they reached the Kapul Island. The name Kapul was said to be derived from Acapulco itself. And there in the Kapul Island, they intermarried with the people in there and thus forming their culture together with their language. The location, the island of Kapul, is 3,500 hectares of land that accommodates 12,343 human population of the Philippines. Since there it's also an island, not many people travel there, but there are many sea travelers and traders who would stop by the island and wait for the currents to flow outward to Pacific Ocean before beginning their voyage to Acapulco. In other words, it's more of a stop. It's a good position for the traders to stop by. So there are a lot of trading happening around the Kapul Island, and which it's more of the restocking area. And historically speaking, the Spaniards built a fortress in Kapul to prevent it from Moro and pirate attacks. Since it's a strategical position in the map, the Spanish architect priest built a twin watchtowers along the island to protect it. And the livelihood of the Abaknon tribe is around fishing and farming. They have months dedicated for fishing. They also have months dedicated for farming, and the fruits of their farming, they weave it, and they turn it into their livelihood as long as food production. The language of the Abaknon tribe, as part of the rich culture of Philippines with hundreds of language and dialects, is actually susceptible to death. And according to Dr. Sarah Gray Thomason, the death of this language is vital uh, to the death of one's culture. In other words, it's like I said, a unique repository of human experience and thought. It meant that it's more of translated as something that language is really vital to the existence of these cultures. The Inabaknon language, also known as Abaknon, Abaknon Sama, Kapuleño, Kapul, or Kapul Sinama, is an Austronesian language primarily spoken in the island municipality of Kapul of northern Samar in the eastern Visayas region of the Philippines. Their culture, which has Samar roots, could be why Kapul has such a variety of tambalan. Tambalan also, which other tribes also known as Babaylan, they have snakebite healers, mediums for nature spirits, exorcists, Paraglobon, the healing trauma and mental illness, and Mamaratbat, which lead to their elaborate rituals and have their souls ushered for, it's more like the concept of heaven. And Sagayan, which is an Inabaknon dance, is a Philippine war dance performed by both the Magindanaoan and Maranaoan, depicting in dramatic fashion the steps of their hero Prince Bantuho, who took upon wearing his armaments the war he fought in and his subsequent victory afterwards. Their culture, which was mostly the most unique thing about their culture is their language, and in their language, they also have their proverbs. The proverbs, which has been used long ago since before Spanish colonized the Philippines. And for example, the makasog lakang na, malalong untog na. The heavier the step, the greater the fall. And at the left side of the PowerPoint, you could see the picture of the Abaknon dance, the Sagayan war dance, and on the right is the Abaknon festival. On the left side of the picture, you could see this is the people of the Abaknon tribe. And this picture also depicts the part of the parade of the Abaknon festival. There are also issues which are currently faced by the Abaknon tribe. One of them is on their language, which is extensive and complex. They are central to the identity, and one of the greatest challenge for them is to in the 21st century is to develop practical models to capture, maintain, and pass on traditional knowledge systems and values to the future generations. Since only the people of the Kapul Island use the language is kind of losing its own originality and uniqueness, and that's why the Philippines is aiming to help preserve the language and for the other people to know about it. Since the Abaknon language is among the top 10 extinct language in the Philippines. Their programs include the regional creative writing, which promotes as a ground for the creative side of people of Samar. So I have seen pictures of them, and it mostly presented about the poetry, stories written in their own language. The Abaknon Festival, which the pictures I showed earlier, was launched in 2004 as part of the celebration. And the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, NCCA, will launch Tawid, the National Heritage Month, on July 29 on Kapul Island, Samar, in line with the province's celebration of Saluka Festival. So, despite that it's a small tribe, not really well known, it is a tribe which aims to preserve the uniqueness of its own. And one of the particular reasons why I chose this topic to discuss is because today we are currently facing the pandemic, which is called the COVID-19, and I wanted to actually give more awareness to the indigenous people that are currently living in the Philippines and who are not in, I don't we are not really updated on what's going on if with them, if they were updated of the virus, if they are getting treated well and how they are coping with the situation. And I hope that we can reach out to them as fellow Filipino citizens, and we can really acknowledge them.
Firde. Okay, so let's welcome Norwisa Islands District.
Pastor, ang disiplinary ko, ano, pastor hain ang ipabot.
Lagi din magkasala din po disiplina.
Eh, mananong ka siya sini. Sira. Kontrol naman pa na siya, bro.